All right, I've got another episode here of the Afterlife with me, Annley. And today I'm doing it from a really different location, so hopefully my connection will stay strong. So far it seems good, but I tend to have really bad luck, as everybody knows, with this show. So definitely got my fingers crossed for just a smooth show tonight. So there is a couple different things that I want to talk about tonight, but in 2 weeks, SIC gets to see the fruition of a long planned project, which is Hunt the Town. And we're going to be out in Antioch, Illinois. So that's something that I definitely want to talk about a little bit today, just because it is such a big deal for us. I know as our Patreon viewers, you can kind of like follow along with us on a little more intimate level. And it's something that I've been talking about now for a good few months. So today I'm just going to kind of go over what's happening there and why it's a big deal for SIC, even though we typically only focus on filming by ourselves at locations, why we're going into this public event space and doing an event of this scale. So, it's so weird here. So going in a little bit about Hunt the Town, it's a concept at base. It's not anything that we're gonna hold in like a singular place every single year, same guests or anything like that. It's a concept that we're gonna be moving around a lot with. Right now, we've got it in Antioch in about 2 weeks. May 18th is the date, um, and we've got a crazy list of locations that we're gonna be investigating at. We are gonna be at PML Theater. We're gonna be at a Masonic Lodge. We're gonna be at JJ Blinkers. We're going to be at Rustic and Reclaimed Market. There's going to be a walking tour, an old historic schoolhouse, just a bunch of different places that we're going to be hitting up for the investigation during the nighttime. And I think that runs from 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. And all of these buildings have reports of hauntings. So PML Theater, we've been there. We actually have an episode out from our investigation there. It was our first episode that we ever released as the team that we currently stand as. And we know a little bit about like what to expect there. The historic schoolhouse is a location that's been investigated by the team that we chose to partner with for this town. They've got a lot of reports from there. There's also a lot of antiques there, a lot of things that could have attachments. So that's a very cool location for us to get to investigate and bring people into. As for JJ Blinkers, its history is a little bit different. It used to be an embalming studio in the upstairs area for a funeral home. So it's just very unique. When I initially was reaching out to businesses in the area for sponsorships for the event, trying to bring on as many people as possible, I ended up getting to talk with the owner of the business, Joanna, who is an amazing woman for allowing us to come in. I was talking to her about possibly doing a sponsorship. And she said, well, would you want to investigate the location? We've got all kinds of things going on here. And of course, I said yes, because getting to investigate a location for the very first time, to be the first team in there, is a massive honor. Um, Allowing a team to come in at all is a big deal. And then when you get to be the team that goes in, that's a fantastic feeling. So, of course, we jumped on investigating JJ Blinkers. We're really excited to be able to bring people in with us the night that we're investigating. So that's going to be amazing. JJ Blinkers is for those of you that are not familiar with the area, it's like a practical gag gift store. They also do like some novelty items, some costuming items. They have all kinds of costumes. um, so it's a really cool location. There's also a rustic and reclaimed market, which I think is like repurposed antiques, something along those lines. It is very rustic from what I've seen on their Facebook page. You can always check them out. Apparently they just had some activity going on when they were doing their remodeling before they actually opened the market. Aaron, our founder of SIC and also kind of like the director of Hunt the Town, as of late, he was walking around downtown Antioch with me, and we were looking for locations that we could talk to about hanging posters in the window or about the event that we were doing, just to try and like drum up some like community acceptance of the paranormal event. We walked past Rustic and Reclaimed Manor, where it currently sits, the building when it was empty, and he just got a very interesting and unique feeling. Like, he felt very drawn to it. He felt like there's definitely something inside of there. We had no clue at the time about what was going on with the building. It was sitting empty, essentially. It looked like they might be doing some work, but we didn't know what was going on with it. So then when he reached out to a couple different places, they ended up like talking to us about possibly investigating because of the experiences that they were having. So that ended up being a really great find for us, and just another community engagement, essentially. Another building that's popped up on our radar. We also have the Masonic Lodge, which has reports of paranormal activity. It's only been investigated a handful of times. I know that's mostly by USPR, US Paranormal Research. I don't really know too much about the specificities of the hauntings that they were investigating or the history of it. I'm not really sure the amount of activity that they have had there, but I do know it is a location that we were specifically told again by the people running the building that there is activity going on and that they would love to be a part of this, just to see what we get as we investigate, not even from a perspective of having people come through, because having a bunch of strangers coming through a Masonic Lodge is not really the typical thing. They don't usually allow people just to walk through there, for third party events, especially. But they were gracious enough to let us use the Masonic Lodge as one of our locations for this event. So we're really grateful for that. On top of the investigation that we're having during the night, in all those locations, we're also having a walking tour. So the walking tour is going to consist of all of the hot spots, more or less, that are on the main street Antioch, because every investigatable location that we are hitting up is actually on Main Street. The guests of the night, they won't have to go anywhere beyond that. So that's really incredible that we found 5 locations with offers from more that are actually all claiming hauntings. So that's very unique. We also got to partner up with a lot of really, really cool businesses. Um, David's Bistro. So if you are a VIP 1 ticket holder, that means you have dinner on your ticket at David's Bistro. They've been really fantastic with putting together a nice menu for all of our guests who decided to go ahead and make their night a little bit easier by going that route. I know at this time we do actually have 1 VIP ticket left available for sale on thriller.events. That's where all of our tickets are being sold now. So Thrill.events, 1 VIP investigation ticket left for level 1, which includes dinner, speakers, vendors room, investigation of all locations. It's everything. So if you want to make your night easier and have a good time, definitely look into getting that ticket. And then we also have Lodge of Antioch partnering with us. They're going to be a great little burger spot for our guests that are investigating with us, but can't necessarily like go the full route and do VIP 1 because it is basically sold out. But it's going to be a great spot for people to hit up during that dinner break, which is from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. the night of the event. Also, throughout the day, tons of restaurants in Antioch. There's Mexican Paradise, which if you're getting like tacos, is a great place to hit up. Just a lot of like places that we've told, hey, we're having an event. Would it be okay if we send people your way? And of course, the answer is yes. Why not? So pretty lucky there. We also have an amazing amount of builders that are going to be coming in seeing. So we've got Supernatural Inc., which we've talked with them quite a bit over like the past 6 months or so. Katie Stafford and Katie Woolard. They're a couple and they're amazing in what they do. Katie builds boxes, goes boxes from scratch by himself. He does all the work on every single one, and he's very intense in all of his experiments that he likes to try. And I have not seen a bad piece of equipment come from him to date. He's always very forward thinking, and I love to see that. So Katie Stafford will be out there, and then Katie is brilliant. They they're both extremely intelligent. I love listening to Katie talk because she's always very knowledgeable on whatever she decides to speak on. She has a lot of background information on it, and she can really hold a conversation well. And I believe they're going to be doing a small demo during our speakers, and I cannot wait to hear what they decide to talk about. I'm very excited for that. And we also have Ghost Site. They do equipment building as well. I know that they're supposed to be walking around throughout the night. They're going to be a big deal. Again, builders really, really are something unique and special to the paranormal field. Without builders, without people coming up with new and innovative equipment, this would get stale very fast. It would get boring very fast. So we're lucky to have people that are thinking about different ways that we can investigate. They're definitely keeping it interesting for us. On top of having those guys, we also have a crazy number of guests that we are having coming out. So we've got Old Baraboo Inn, which is a location. They're actually coming down all the way from Baraboo, Wisconsin to talk to us about Old Baraboo Inn, which they've had a lot going on over the past year. I know they just filmed with Travel Channel. They've had documentaries done on them. They've been voted like most haunted locations for like Food Network and stuff like that. Like they've got a lot, a lot of coverage. And BC Farr, owner of Old Baraboo, great guy. Shelley Wells, fantastic woman. They're going to be down here. They're going to be talking to us a little bit about Old Baraboo. So that's very exciting. We also have Mary Marshall. She's a psychic, I believe. She's also really great at looking into the scientific side of the field. I've listened to her speak before. She's got a good amount of authority on the subjects of paranormal. Scotty Rourke, another well-known psychic, he'll be in. We also have Cheryl Lynn Carter, who I all around really enjoy talking with. She's very friendly, very personable, and also just a good person to have on an investigation. She's very interesting and unique, and I think that she'll be a lot of fun to listen to as she speaks. She's written some books that have been amazing. She's worked a lot with other people in the paranormal field. We also have Jim Heater, he'll be speaking. Chris Sanders, I think he's coming all the way out from like Maine, which is crazy. He'll be out here. We will have Joe Diamond, and he's going to provide a mind bender for us, talking about his. I don't want to say psychic because he's not psychic. He openly admits he's not psychic, but just like all of his mind tricks that he plays. Those are very, very interesting to watch. The last time I spoke with him was probably last April, actually. And he did a trick for me, and it just blew me away. So he's going to be a really cool person to be able to watch. We're also going to have Allison Jorlin. She is crazy knowledgeable on like folklore and history, and she's a wonderful researcher. I've gotten to listen to her speak as well. She's going to be a great addition. I think she was actually one of our more recent additions to Hunt the Town Antioch. She'll be a fantastic person to listen to, so definitely make sure that you get there for her set. And then we have our big guests as well. We have Elizabeth Saint of Ghost of Shepherdstown. She's also a builder. This woman is wicked smart, and she's a great role model for female investigators as well. She's going to be really great to listen to. And then we also have Tennessee Wraith Chasers. We're going to have Mike and Doogie. Those guys are just the most down-to-earth people, super sweet, a lot of fun. And then all these people are going to be investigating with us as well throughout the night. So every person that I just listed is going to be there. So that's going to be pretty cool to have everybody out and investigating with us. And we also have our vendor hall. Yeah. A lot of those people are going to be at tables as well in the vendor hall. There's going to be some additional people that may not be speaking, but will still be in our vendor hall. So it'll be a great chance to get some paranormal equipment, get some information, get some books, meet some people, mingle. It'll be a great spot for you to network and kind of get to know everybody. So that'll be fantastic here. All right. There we go. And then just a little more. So yeah, that's going to be really, really great for us. And then we also have, sorry, I was running through a list here because I've got everybody here. We're also going to have a couple of unique guests. So they're not necessarily what we would expect to have at an event like this, but I'm very, very excited to have them. We are going to have the Beyond Normal radio show, and we're going to have this gentleman set up, actually broadcasting his radio show throughout the day, doing interviews with our guests throughout the day, and he'll be able to kind of give us like a play-by-play of what's going on throughout the day. It'll be very cool to be able to go back and listen to that afterwards. So I'm excited to have that's Chris Pumala, Beyond Normal radio show. So he'll be cool to have. We also have Robin Terry of Ashmore Estates and Rhodes Hotel and a couple other places, I'm sure, at this point, because the man really knows his haunted locations. He's going to be bringing out the Hanna-Barbera Mystery Machine, and we will have that available for photo ops for kiddos. If you're bringing any kids with you, that's going to be pretty cool. I personally am not a child, but I am a child at heart, so I'm definitely going to be taking my photo with that. It's just something cool, and we're out there, we're trying to like investigate these locations and solve the mysteries of them of why they're being haunted. So I know for a lot of us, like Scooby Doo and the Mystery Gang, I mean, there's something that we can kind of connect to on a deeper level than just this is a funny cartoon. I think it's kind of a kindred spirit. We're also going to have Mike Couch from Rhodes Hotel and Lost Limbs Foundation. As some of you know, we did investigate Rhodes Hotel. I believe that was 2 months ago now, about 2 months ago. We were out at Rhodes. It's a fantastic location. I cannot say enough how much I urge people to go to Rhodes Hotel. Not even just for the evidence, but the evidence is good. The evidence is very good. But just also for the history of the building, how well it's been preserved, the fact that you can sleep in the building comfortably is always a big plus to me. Mike takes great care of the place. He's super sweet. He'll walk you through the whole location, tell you where everything's at, show you everything. Um, and he'll be there like all night if you need him. Like it doesn't matter. He's right there. Um, and on top of that, he's using this as a way to earn money for his charity, which is Lost Limbs. And Lost Limbs provides prosthetics to children, only children. And as you know, children, they grow quite rapidly. So the fact that he's able to help provide a little bit of expense coverage for those parents that have children that need prosthetic limbs is huge. So definitely come by and see him. He'll have a table at the vendor hall all day. Consider donating to him as well. So I mean that's the whole list, I believe. That's everybody who's going to be here and all of our locations. It's going to be a massive event and I cannot wait for it. So May 18th. Definitely be there in Antioch, Illinois if you can. We have one VIP investigation ticket left at this time for Tier 1, which includes dinner, includes investigations, includes all the speakers, access to the vendor hall. It includes the whole day for you. And then we also, I believe, at this time still have left 10 general admission tickets, which gets you into the vendor hall and then all of our speakers. If you get into the vendor hall, there will also be the opportunity for photo ops. I know we are going to possibly be doing them from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. where we can take your photo professionally with some of our guests of the day, which I believe we have Tennessee Race Chasers and maybe also Elizabeth Saint on board for that at this time. You can actually pre-order your spot, which I believe it's $10. If you go to Hunt the Town, Antioch, Illinois, there should be a link available for you to do that there. Now, next Hunt the Town. So that's a lot about Antioch. Next Hunt the Town, we're actually going to be in Crown Point, Indiana. We're going to be there on National Ghost Hunting Day, which is September 28th, which I know it sounds far away, but that's only about, let's see, May, June, July, August, September. It's about 4 months realistically away for us at this point, 4 or 5 months before we get there, but it's coming up and it's going to be a big one. I know we're doing a very similar setup. We're going to be 1 p.m. to 1 a.m. We are going to be having a good number of locations. I think right now we're at 4 locations plus a walking tour. We have booked up the old jail, which we've investigated there before, and I adore it for so many reasons. The old jail has a lot of space, a lot of different places that you can investigate in it. It has a lot of history. Lillian Holly, if you don't know that name, you should research her. Just Google her. She was a total badass. But we got Old Sheriff's Jail, which they'd actually film some scenes in for Public Enemy. Just so much has happened there, and it's such a cool location. I'm excited that we're going back. It's closest to home, and it's a cool spot for me to be. So excited for that. We also have Sip Coffee House. And again, it's just another one of those places that has reports that wants to be involved, and we're more than happy to have them. We also have the Antique Mall, which is basically, when you think Antique Mall, you're not thinking of the location that we're going to be in. It's an old brick building, and it's just massive, like, strip of just antique store after antique store. It's pretty cool to see. I've never actually been inside, but I have looked through the windows and there's a lot of really neat stuff in there. So that's going to be cool to be able to walk through and investigate. And again, it could be one of those places with attachments from some of the objects that are being sold there. We also have Crystal Lady, which is a crystal shop, if I'm not mistaken. So another just cool shop that we're going to be able to get into and investigate. And we've got the walking tour because Crown Point has a crazy amount of history. Um, all kinds of like, I mean, this town originally was founded way, way back in 1834, and actually the official date of its founding was October 31st by Mr. Robinson. He opened up a general store with his brother. The town grew rapidly. By like 1868, it was the center of the county of Lake in Indiana. So, I mean, it had a lot going on for sure. I mean, the jail that we're investigating was used all the way up until like 1974 for one purpose or another. So it had, I think it was erected in, let me see here. The jail was built in 1882. So it had almost a full 100 years of being active with people in it. So, and it also housed sheriff's families over the year. So, that's going to be a big deal. Again, just a crazy amount of history. Tickets are on sale now, if I'm not mistaken, for Crown Point. You can go to Facebook, on the town Crown Point, Indiana. We have 3 tiers. We have $35, which is similar to what we have here in Antioch. For that $35, you get to have um, a general admission, so access to vendors and speakers. We have a $70 tier, which includes all of our locations for investigations and general admission. And then we have an $85 tier, which actually includes dinner at a local restaurant that we are working with now to finish setting up. It's called 12 Islands. I've driven past there, haven't been there yet, but it looks amazing. And I actually plan to go back and check out Crown Point a few more times before the event. So I'll let you know how it is when I get there. But I've heard amazing things from the locals, which those are the opinions that matter most. So you'll have dinner there, you'll have the investigation, you'll have general admission to speakers and vendors, whoever we may end up having speak. But I know we do have some people so far for our guests. So we are going to have Sylvia Schultz, which I know I've talked about her a little bit here and there on this podcast. She is amazing. Like everything that that woman says will is gonna like make you think, and that's fantastic. She researches so much and just such crazy amount of detail. She makes me look like I looked at cliff notes for the locations that we go to. Um, and not only on top of that, she investigates. I've investigated with her. She tries all kinds of different methods. She'll go from dowsing rods to new age tools. She asks questions like of other people that she's investigating with about what they're using. So it's a lot of fun to investigate with her, and it's a great time listening to her speak. We also have Coyote Chris Sutton. We have Rick Wade. We have Ursula Bielski. So a lot of really great names. We also have the whole crew from Oddity Files. They'll be coming in, and I hear they're a lot of fun to work with. We have Edward Shanahan. I know a couple of our team members have actually gotten the opportunity to investigate with him, and nothing but rave reviews about how incredible he is. And then we also have Rachel and Marie and Christopher Booth here. They are going to be set up with a booth in our vendor hall as well as there throughout the day. They're very cool couple, very cool couple. They've filmed a couple of horror films. Uh, I know they actually worked with one of our guests from Antioch as event. It's gonna be Sherilyn Carter. She actually filmed with them as well on their movie Rosalie. So super cool people, super chill. It'll be awesome to have them. Very, very excited to see them on our guest list this time around. So definitely give it a check out if you can. It's going to be Hunt the Town, Crown Point, Indiana, September 28th. If you want to buy tickets, they're going to be on thriller.events. You can also go to our Facebook page, just search Hunt the Town, Crown Point, Indiana, and you'll get all the information and all the links that you need there. We still have a lot more that we're going to be announcing when it comes to special guests, sponsors, things along those lines. If you are interested in being a vendor, we still do have a lot of vendor tables left. I think we have almost all of them left. So we definitely want to get those filled. We need as many vendors as we can get. So you can actually go on Hunt the Town Crown Point's Facebook page, the event page, and there's links there to where you can actually apply to be a vendor. We do ask that we try and keep it paranormal centered, but we're open to like whatever you may think may be relevant to our field. our goal ultimately is to bring a field of networking together in this event, and it's going to be such a big day for the paranormal community. We love to have everybody that we can having an experience with this. So, now that I've talked about both haunted towns, and I've got 5 minutes left of my show tonight, I want to talk a little bit more about Thornhaven, just kind of follow up on what I was talking about last week, because since then I've had ability to talk a little bit with some of the other people that were on the location with me about their experiences and what was going on with them. So that being said, I kind of discussed a little bit about how I felt in certain areas of the building, with my sensitivities being empathic, what I was getting from the building. I've gone a whole show without drinking water yet. That's not, and I'm starting to feel it. Like I have water now, but I'm not actually using the water, which, why? I'm just that used to like conditioning myself to forgetting this that I'm not drinking it. Mm, agua. All right. So yeah, I got to talk to them. One of the members, besides me, had a crazy experience, which is great that it's not me this time. Like that made me super excited to not be the one that's like having a freak out. So one of our other members was actually down in the basement, and we were doing a double SDs method, which is where one person on a central location asks questions via a walkie-talkie, while two other people are basically attempting to communicate between levels with entities that may be there, while talking through the SDs. Essentially, it's super unique way that we're doing this. It's a great thing that we're doing. I know we did a Facebook Live of it. We have had amazing results with it so far, and I firmly believe that we're going to continue to use this method. So I was on one end, and the other person was on the other end. And at one point, it felt weird. It felt like someone did like that, like a very light kind of like grab, and then kind of like a stroke, like down. Um, and I kind of like grabbed at my chest a little bit. I was like, don't you dare. Not in the mood for that. Um, but the other member downstairs was actually having a very similar experience, but his was a lot more intense. They were full on choking him, like just like grabbing him from the back of his neck, scratching down his back. And it felt very physical to him to the point that he had to stop. Um, he was very shaken up by it, but this member also felt very drawn to the building from the moment we got there. He walked around the property. He talked with the owner, Stephen, who is amazing. Thank you so much, Stephen, for letting us come in. But yeah, so he felt very drawn to the building, and just like a level of sensitivity that he had not felt prior. And I really feel like there it could be something there for him. Like he could be a bit of a lightning rod because he tends to have a lot happen to him when we're on locations that he doesn't always vocalize. He doesn't claim to be any type of sensitive. I want to make that very clear. That's his prerogative. He does not claim anything. I claim my empathic abilities, a little bit of clairsentience. Other than that, I'm not like psychic. Um, but he does not want any labels at this time until he gets to explore it a little more. But he had a crazy experience, and it was kind of interesting to be able to share that with him and have somebody else have similar happenings to what typically ends up happening to me. So that's kind of just like a little bit of extra tidbit information on Thornhaven Manor. We have not discussed it openly yet on Facebook or anything like that. So that's just kind of something for you, our Patreon viewers, to be aware of. I know you guys may have seen us cut the Thornhaven double SDs off early. That would be kind of why we had to like talk about everything that happened and why it's happening and what's going to be happening with him going forward. So that's going to kind of wrap up our night here on the Afterlife. So again, Hunt the Town, Antioch, Illinois, it's basically sold out. If you want to come, now is definitely the time to get your general admission ticket. They're only $35, and there's only 10 of them left. So Thriller.events for that. And then Hunt the Town Crown Point. If you don't have anything to do on National Ghost Hunting Day, which my bet is it's kind of far out, so you haven't planned anything yet, come see us, come hang out. If you're someone who has wares to sell, whether you're an author or a builder or just someone who wants to promote their own web series, like I would normally do if I had the opportunity to go to a convention like this, then definitely come down to Crown Point, get a vendor table. If you don't have anything like that, then get a ticket and come listen to all the speakers and meet all the great people that we're going to have there. So that's Hunt the Town, Crown Point, Indiana on Facebook, or Thriller.events for tickets. Tickets are up now. Can't wait to see everybody there. And I will talk to you guys again after Antioch, and I'll let you know how it went. Thank you for joining me in the